Deputy Pringle.
Thanks very much, Chairman. It's my first time to be sitting this side of the room, so it seems a bit strange. Chairman, I'd like to thank the members of the Finance Committee for the opportunity to speak here today and for the openness and willingness of all the members to engage on the important issue of fossil fuel divestment. There's been a lot of criticism going around of the so-called new politics in the current arrangements, and in some ways probably rightly so. But without new politics, I wouldn't have had the opportunity as an independent rural TD in opposition to present a piece of legislation like this today, and in a timely manner, which this committee has helped facilitate by ensuring the bill reached scrutiny stage not too long after the second stage debate. I'll just be saying a few words about the importance of the bill in my view and its contents, and leave the more technical aspects to the experts in the field that I have here with me, and they'll also be presenting today. So I'd like to thank Mr Kingsmill Bond and Trocra for their incredible support and work put in to raise awareness of fossil fuel divestment and the progression of this bill through the different stages. As you may be aware from the explanatory memorandum, the bill seeks to compel the ISIF to divest its assets from fossil fuel companies over a period of 5 years. I wanted to make it clear that this bill has not been brought forward to single out or castigate the ISIF or to use the ISIF in any way as a platform to attack political ideologies of any party in the House. It is about highlighting the urgent need for all policies to align with the agenda set out in the Paris Agreement. This is not altruism, it is both our moral obligation and an existential expediency. This is also not about constraining investment and policy decisions. It's about shifting policy and investment focus away from the technologies and industries that must be phased out if we are to protect civilization as we know it, and ensuring scarce public resources are invested in the technologies, industries and jobs of the future. It's about sending a message to the public and the private sector in Ireland, large and small, that the Oireachtas is taking the risks imposed by climate change seriously and will act to protect people and the state from those risks. It is also about demonstrating to the international community that Ireland stands by the commitment it made to the Paris Agreement and that it will be a serious player in the emerging green global economy. You may well ask why a rural TD like me would be interested in bringing forward a piece of legislation like this, but the answer is simple. It's about climate justice. Climate change affects everyone, but not all equally. Climate justice on a domestic level means local communities, particularly rural and isolated communities, having a stake in future energy projects which will have an impact on their communities. We need to empower communities to engage with and defend themselves during the transition to a low-carbon economy. If rural TDs like myself don't join in the debate on climate change mitigation now, then we may continue to be left behind by national policies and decisions which disproportionately affect our communities. I also feel very strongly that Ireland has an obligation, a duty and a moral imperative to concern itself with the plight of disadvantaged communities in poorer countries already feeling the effects of climate change and who are disproportionately affected by climate change while having no recourse to mitigate against the effects of it. As I highlighted in the debate in January and in my written submission to the committee in recent weeks, I look forward to working with the colleagues on the bill at committee stage to address any of the technical issues with regard to definitions and how to ensure the bill serves to advance the decarbonisation agenda in Ireland and avoid unintended consequences. Thank you, Mr Chairman.
Thanks, Deputy Pringle. Before calling the other witness, I want to advise the witnesses that by virtue of Section 17(2)(i) of the Defamation Act 2009, witnesses are protected by absolute privilege in respect of their evidence to this committee. If you are directed by the committee to cease giving evidence in relation to a particular matter and you continue to do so, you are entitled thereafter only to a qualified privilege in respect of your evidence. You are directed that only evidence connected with the subject matter of these proceedings is to be given, and you are asked to respect the parliamentary practice to the effect that where possible you should not criticise nor make charges against any person, persons or entity by name or in such a way as to make him, her or it identifiable. Members are reminded of the long-standing parliamentary practice to the effect that members should not comment on, criticise or make charges against a person outside the House or an official by either name or in such a way as to make them identifiable. Can I now invite